Hello everyone, I'm Mrs. Midnight, and now that we know how we meet Talbott Winger in Hogwarts Mystery, it's time to talk about his positive side from the individual perspective.
Yes. Well, forgive me for not leaping for joy. Bad back, you know.
The first thing that we have to recognize from Talbott, because there's no wonder that he is a Ravenclaw, is that he's rather intelligent and not only book smart, but also in everyday life. He knows how to analyze, to solve problems, and most importantly, he is reflective and therefore does not act on impulse. Right, Jae? And on the other hand, his tendency to introspection also sometimes isolates him or makes him live a little bit on the past. At the same time, also makes him value what he has, appreciate people important to him, and also the heirlooms and memories he shares with those people. We can notice this, for example, in the way he treasures his mother necklace, not only because it has a feather, but because the feather came from his mother in her animagus form. Although he doesn't like to put himself in danger unnecessarily, whenever a risk is necessary to be taken, Talbott is not only brave, but also loyal to MC, being there for them in more than one occasion, including infiltrating art. And although obviously it's horrible to think that Talbott became an orphan so young, and thanks to the Death Eaters, one thing that I definitely have to recognize from the character is that, besides his resilience to move on from that, he also learned to be self-sufficient and to enjoy solitude instead of seeing it as a burden. Which, first of all, individually is extremely positive because that means that whether people are around or not, he can be okay. But on the other hand, I would say that for MC as his friend or even a significant other, that's very important and positive as well, because that means that if one day MC is busy or wants to be alone or for whatever reason is not available, they do not need to worry about Talbott feeling bad. Something that I find very endearing about this character is that the way to get him to open up when you want to talk to him about something and he closes, it's either through joking or through playing. Usually you will tell him, let's play gobstones, and I bet you that if I win, you tell me what's going on. And besides being sweet and tender about the character, this also shows that he is fun, that he's playful, and that even if he isolates himself and likes to be alone, he can also be friendly and wants to connect with people. Maybe he's not open with everyone, but this is not because there's anything wrong with the character, but because he's cautious. Which honestly, after what he went through, I completely understand. Although Talbott is very straightforward and sometimes this is perceived as sharp or rough, first of all we have to take into account what even he has explained to MC, that his life is way too complicated and has been way too good for people to expect him to beat around the bush when it comes to saying what he thinks. But on the other hand, although Talbott will tell you if he thinks anything negative about something, and first of all the way I see this is good, I don't think that sugarcoating reality will make it prettier if it's actually negative. But on the other hand, although Talbott is straightforward, something I have to recognize about the character very much is that despite the crudity of the situations that he has lived, he has not let his experiences turn him into someone cruel. Unlike other romantic options like the one I like the most, as you know, that sometimes do let their bad experiences get the best of them and make them treat people in, let's say, not the best way, Talbott will tell you what he thinks, but without unnecessary roughness.
Could you dumb it down a shade?
Although same as with Kiara, for Talbott it's hard to open up and to trust people, once he realizes that MC's intentions to help him are truthful, he not only allows them to help, but also little by little lets them approach as friends as well. Eventually even saying that you are friends, although more often than not he will say that it was a mistake or that he just said it out of impulse. Although his experiences taught him to be cautious and to not trust people lightly, once Talbott sees that MC or his other friends are honest about their intentions towards him, he stops stigmatizing people, and we can actually see in his friendship with Penny that he is capable of becoming friends with people that are rather different from him, which shows maturity and tolerance for differences. And I gotta say that although I do not find Talbott particularly attractive, he does have a lot of green flags.
And lastly, one thing I want to say about the character is that, although I see Talbott Winger much more as a friend than as a romantic option, I can't deny the way that we connect through humor. I love how sarcastic he is, his ironic comments, and this part that you have to play with him or to joke around with him to get him to open up. I don't know, maybe to some could be perceived as, oh my god, I'm gonna have to play gobstones again for him to talk to me about this now, but for me it's very endearing and very fun. So although I would not see myself dating him, I would definitely see Talbott Winger as potentially one of my best friends of the game. If you like this video talking about the best of Talbott Winger, don't forget to leave me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and click on the bell so YouTube lets you know when we talk about the worst, the most negative side of our favorite animagus. For now, let's put the ego aside so I can tell you that Mrs. Midnight loves you, hopes to see you next time, and wishes you a great rest of your week.